All right, welcome to the Sunday morning edition of the Morning Stand 2. All right, so I'm your host, Rod Rodriguez, After Action Review Podcast. Um, it's Sunday. It's the Sunday morning edition, so I decided to do a 06. Then life happened, a little bit late, but here we are, okay? What matters is that it's early morning, and we're doing this thing. So, this is the third video for a morning stand to, and it's interesting because in the last couple of days, I've really tried to push my reach out a little bit, finding all these Facebook groups, finding all these Instagrammers, if you will, that put out content that I think would benefit me and benefit other veteran entrepreneurs. And there's been a lot of great places a lot of great resources, a lot of very supportive people who are trying to do this entrepreneurial thing and support each other. But I'm also seeing a lot of bullshit, and by that I mean, it's kind of like these. I guess they're pyramid scams. I mean, I'm trying to be nice about it, but I mean, I think there's a lot of veterans who are doing this, like, weight loss chocolate. Go tell your friends, and then they'll buy $500 from me, and then they'll go out and sell chocolate or some vitamin bullshit, and they'll collect 300 people, and the money flows upwards. It's like a pyramid, and how you're getting scammed into this is beyond me. But it's all over the place. So I actually found two Facebook groups that were labeled entrepreneurs and veteran entrepreneurship. And when I scroll through this, that's all I'm seeing. Hey, DM me if you want a opportunity to get rich. I'm looking for 5 people. I'm looking for 5 people who want to make money. Email me. I'm going to show you how to do it from home, risk-free. Look, first of all, there is nothing to be gained from something that has no risk. The minute you tell me something is risk-free, that's like, hey, let's take this trip. I promise you won't die. Wait a minute. Why do you have to preface that with, I'm not going to die? Why do you have to preface this with, trust me, it's risk-free? It's bullshit. It's complete bullshit. So if you know somebody who's trying to get you in on one of these scams, call them out on it. Like, nah, dude, that sounds like some bullshit. You're better than that. But here's the thing. It's like I was saying before. Veterans want to become entrepreneurs. Maybe it's because it's the nature of what we did in the service. We're always helping others. We're always serving the organization. Everything we do is for the Army. Rarely is it for ourselves. So when somebody offers us the opportunity to become an entrepreneur, and it's entrepreneur in a neat little box with chocolates, and they have this fucking amazing presentation. It's a good presentation. If you ever sat in on one of those presentations, it's pretty good. I sat in on a healthy chocolate one, and it was like, oh, you can eat these different types of chocolate. They have antioxidants, and you can sell this protein, whatever. The pitch was good. I was like, legitimately like, wow, this is fascinating. And it wasn't the business pitch. I'm sorry, well, it wasn't the product or the service or the money. It was the pitch that interested me. I was amazed at how good the pitch was. And I can see a lot of people falling for stuff like that. So, guys, that's complete bullshit. Don't fall for it. Let me tell you, if you want to run your own business, if you're one of those veterans who's retiring, medically retired, did your 20, or you're just getting out of the Army, but you've got that thing in your head that's like, man, I really want to start my own business, but I don't know what it is I want to do. Don't look outward yet. Don't do that. Don't start looking around like, oh, I got to find something to put time and money. That right there is not on. That's not entrepreneurial thinking. That's not like. To me, I think that sounds a lot more like when you're a Joe, you may look for something to do. I don't know, some of y'all didn't do that, but you got to look inside. You got to start asking yourself what it is that I'm good at, what interests me, and that's when we start moving outside of that. Once we start understanding ourselves a little bit better, and that's something I struggled with too, because I'll tell you, I started coming up with like 1,000 different ideas of things I read, maybe jumping into some type of chain, or maybe one of those. The word is escaping me right now. A franchise, jumping into a franchise, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with a franchise. You'd be amazed at how much money people make when they have a good investment. They go and meet with some of these franchise strategists. There are franchise recruiters out there that are looking for military veteran-minded people to open those businesses and do amazing things. But you know the difference between legitimate and illegitimate, or legitimate and fraudulent business pitches. You're going to see it right away. And even if you're going to run a franchise, you still got to ask yourself, you still got to look inside and ask yourself, is this franchise what I'm about? Am I about to dedicate 16, 18 hours a day to a Chick-fil-A, to opening a sandwich shop, opening a tire shop? Is this what I'm passionate about? But it has to start in here, and it has to start in here. You got to think about it, and it's got to feel right. If it's not passing those two tests, if you haven't looked inside and you've just been looking the outside, and that's what you find, some sell this to your friends and build, and all this other nonsense, yeah, you got a problem. So yeah, that's what I found. A lot of these pages, lots of bullshit. The other thing that I thought was interesting too was I posted in Drinking Bros Business, and if you're not familiar with it, it's a group. It's part of the Drinking Bros network. It's like veteran oriented, and they got a Drinking Bros Business page, and I guess the purpose is like-minded entrepreneurs and veteran business owners get together, and it's a forum where you can post pictures and talk about your product, or you can ask for help if there's something that you need. Like, I saw some really cool posts in there, like, does anybody know anything about, does anybody know 3D printers? Who can help me with that? Hey man, if there's a 3D printer guy, veteran on that group, he's gonna tag you. And he's gonna, hey man, I can help you. What do you got? What questions do you have? So I posted, hey, I'm doing this morning stand to every morning, 05:30 Eastern Standard Time. And I get it. It's 5:30 on the East Coast. If you're anywhere going west, that's going to get kind of shitty. And 5:30 is pretty shitty sometimes. But the purpose behind the 5:30 thing is to start your day off right. Okay, so if you're starting your day off at 7 o'clock and you don't have to be worked till 9, so you've got 2 hours. You've given yourself 2 hours to think and work on your business strategy for the day. This is a daily grind. Automation is great, but automation is automation. It's not personal. Okay, you've got to make it personal. I'm making this personal for me. So I'm waking up earlier than I actually have to be at work. And I'm using that time that I would have slept. I'm using that time that I would have had an extra cup of coffee. I'm using that time that I would have been doing 1,000 other things to focus on what my strategy is for the day. How am I going to break apart my breaks so I can go outside, scroll through some of my Feedly, scroll through some of my posts, scroll through some of the people that I'm following, find something useful, mine for information and for inspiration for 10 minutes, and then repost it. Or when you're sitting there and you're thinking about stuff, something hits you, like boom, I want to share that with people. How much content should I be sharing in a day? What kind of content am I going to share today? What's my goal? That's the point of that early morning deal. And if you got to edit photos, you're going to edit your photos. You got to edit your video, you got to edit your video. You're going to do your audio, you got to do your audio. But that's 2 hours, 3 hours sometimes, 3.5 hours. Hey, push it back. How much time do you need? Do you want to go to bed at 8 o'clock? Then that means you're going to get up early as shit and get your stuff done. So I mentioned 05:30. I invited people. And the thing is, I'm not trying to make you feel like shit about it. I'm not saying that if you're not here at 05:30, you're going to fail or any, because look, I'm in the boat with you. I am not successful. I am not, I'm barely an entrepreneur. I'm trying to work on my entrepreneurial traits and my qualities. It's like, I'm not an Olympic runner. Okay? If you're training for the Olympics, you're not an Olympian. You're training for it. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to sharpen all the skills I need so that way I can become an entrepreneur, an amazing entrepreneur. But I put that post out there on my, hey, 05:30 morning stand to join me. And the whole thing is we're in this together. The whole point is for us to come together at 05:30, support you. So if you're on the East Coast, check it out. If you're an East Coast veteran entrepreneur, I'm here for you. 05:30, we're here together, bleary-eyed, tired as shit. But we got to talk, inspire each other. Somebody writes on my post, they write, "Not me, I'll be asleep." Okay. So all I wrote was LOL. LOL. Good for you. Good for you. You could have written anything. That person could have written, "I'll be up at 6." Or, "Hey, I'm on the East, I'm in California, but I'll be up at 05:30. I'll be up at 6. I'll be up at 6:30. I'm giving myself an hour. I'm doing something, but I'm with you. I'm with you." Instead, that person writes, "Not me, I'll be asleep." Okay, stay asleep. Stay asleep. That's good for me. Because you're one less person I have to compete with for money. You're one less person I have to deal with in terms of potential competition. Maybe you're running a rival podcast. Hey man, that's cool. I want to compete. I want to see I would love to have contributors on my podcast. I would love to stand next to 6 other veterans as maybe we're looking for seed money or we're looking for an investor. Man, here I am. I'm standing with my peers and we're putting our very best out there. Let's do it. It's going to kick ass. But I'm going to look at my peers. I'm going to look at the people and be like, these guys are working just as hard as me. I promise you're not going to outwork me, but you're working just as hard as me. But when you post some bullshit like, "Not me, I'm going to be asleep," stay asleep. Stay asleep. So is, you know what's also going to be asleep? Your endeavor. That's going to be asleep. You're going to everything you're trying to do is going to stay up here. It's going to stay up here. Now it's not going to manifest itself. It's not going. You got to get up and work. Look, you can read. Go read any book by any CEO who has built their company from nothing to something. Go read about them, and it's like, I was up at 3, working on this. I was up at 5, working on this. I was up at 5, working on my business. Then I had to go to work on that business, make them successful, learn. And that's the other thing. This 9-to-5 gig, I'm trying to reset my mindset on that. I'm trying to fucking change the way I'm thinking about my job. My job is not a 9-to-5 grind. It feels like it, but it's not. It's training. It's my battleground. It's where I can take my energy, my motivation. I might be able to use some of my ideas. I'm trying to bring that entrepreneurial mindset to my job at 9-to-5. That's where I can sharpen some of my teeth, hone some of my skill set, come back home, and then apply some of the things that I've learned, some of the things that I have practiced towards the goals that I've set for myself. I'm not going to be asleep. I even thought about, like, man, maybe I should move this 0530 thing to like once every other day, maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday, maybe just do a Sunday edition, a Saturday, blah, blah. Oh man, that guy, I got to thank you, sir, because I almost gave up on this. I almost said to myself, maybe I should bring it down. Hell no, I'm not going to do that. Every morning, 0530, I'm going to be putting out a video. I'm going to be talking, because if nobody's listening, if nobody's doing anything with this video, that's fine, because I'm going to leave a legacy. I want to look back in a year and see 365 morning stand tos, and I'm going to see this thing progress. I'm not going to sleep in. I'm not going to skip a day. I may be a little bit late, because shit, man, life happens. Morning edition on a Sunday. How about this? We do a 6 o'clock Sunday. We'll sleep in an extra half hour for baby Jesus. But we're going to be up at 6. We're going to be thinking about our business. We're going to be working on our strategy. And hey, if you've got to get your stuff on and get to church, go to church and ask whatever God you believe in for the strength to wake up at 0530 and work on something that was yours. Because here's the irony. Here's the funny part. We're veterans. If you're a veteran, you understand this. If you were a veteran, 0530, if you were in a leadership position, you were at the first sergeant stand to at 0530 talking about someone else's stuff. You were talking about Army stuff. You were talking about platoon stuff. You were talking about whatever it was the first sergeant needed to put out at 0530. Then your ass was out there running for 2, 4, 6, 8, 12 miles with your squad, with your platoon, with your guys. So from 6:30 to 7:30, you're doing your PT. You went home, you got dressed, you took a shower, got dressed, into work by maybe 8:30 or 9, depending on what crazy schedule you had. If you were a drill sergeant, you know your life was timed to the second, because you didn't have time for bullshit. But if you're out of the military, what's your excuse? It's too fucking early? Really? Aren't we the guys that are telling these civilian companies, I'm your guy, I'm a veteran, I'm dedicated, I'm motivated, I have the skill sets, I have the traits and qualities to make your business a success, because I can wake up early, I can lead at 05, 04, 0300. When your civilian college grad is bleary-eyed and he's just like, oh dude, I've never woken up this early in my life. We're up, we're standing on our feet, we're dressed, and we're looking at these guys like, get your ass up, we got stuff to do. Nah, man. Nah, you don't post bullshit like, I'm gonna be asleep. Thank you. You inspired me. You're keeping me honest. That's the other piece, is all these videos are keeping us honest. That's the point, okay? The point isn't just to come in here and conduct, like I say, entrepreneurial masturbation, and we're just going to sit around and talk and put up these great ideas. No, man. Look at my Facebook. Look at the AAR podcast Facebook post. Look at my Twitter. My Twitter's my Twitter. I'm moving my Twitter and expanding it. I'm trying to post more. The same with my Instagram. I know maybe Snapchat is the next thing I need to start moving into and really exploring how to use it. But my content is, I'm putting that content out there. I already got, since day 3 of these videos, I already got a guy calling me about, hey, let's do an interview. I've got a couple of interview requests that I put out there. And if you email me, Rod Rodriguez at theaarpodcast.com, if you email me and you're like, hey, I want to be on your podcast, awesome. Be prepared for me to ask you some questions, because I'm not going to put somebody on my podcast who's going to be self-aggrandizing, or it's all about them. The whole point of the podcast is to help our fellow vets. And if you tell me you're a life coach, or you tell me that you've got the inside track, or I'm going to show you how to make the best business you've ever made, I'm not even here telling you I'm going to show you how to make the best business you've ever made. I don't know. I'm on the journey with you. I'm not here to preach to you about how great my business plan is, or I'm going to show you I'm going to show you 6 ways to make $10,000 or to get 15,000 Facebook followers. Shit, I don't know how to do that. If you do, please hit me up. But if you're a life coach, or you're telling me you're going to go out there and help veterans, and I ask you some simple questions like, how much do you charge? What do you charge? How do you charge? What makes you an expert on life coaching? If you can't answer those questions, I don't want anything to do with you. You're a scam artist. If you do answer those questions and you're cool about it and you're legit, hey, I definitely want you on my podcast. I want to be on your podcast. I want to get people to talk about those kinds of things, and be prepared to defend your life. Be prepared to defend that thing that you're hawking. You know, if you're out here, but hey, if you're legit, you're legit. If you're legit, you're legit. If you got to defend it, probably not going to be on my podcast. I probably don't want to talk to you. I probably don't even want to know you, because I probably don't have time to hear about how I have an opportunity to make $15,000 risk-free from my house, or that you're going to coach me through my hard times, and you've never taken a psychology or counseling class or anything of that sort, and your experience rests in, well, I was a squad leader in the Army. Okay, good for you. So, all right, so that does it. This was the 0600 Morning Stand To Sunday edition. Tomorrow morning, we'll be back here, 0530. Might be back in my car doing this, but what are we doing today? So I definitely need to put together the bunker in a box stuff. I'm going to do a quick review. I mentioned that during the last video. All day yesterday I was running around the DC area. So I did some of the sketches, not some of the sketches, but did some of the write-ups on my notebook while I was driving and throughout the day. So that's going to get built up, and then we're going to do a probably another video midday, or maybe in the evening tomorrow, or today I should say, evening today, and maybe edit it, maybe fine tune it, and make it something that I can publish on Facebook, and it's going to be on the website. I'm also going to be doing some adjustments to the website. So hey, check it out. Also, I want suggestions. I need your help. So visit the aarpodcast.com website. Visit, take a look at some of the podcasts. The podcasts are rough. We're going to talk about that later. But I want your suggestions. I want to hear what you guys have to say. How can I make this better? You're my audience. You're the people I want to target. And be part of the process. Be part of the process with me. All right, so that does it. I will see y'all tomorrow at 0530. Stick together. Hashtag Veteran Entrepreneurs. All right, later.